How's everybody doing today? Good. Congratulations. Are you running at Arkansas next year? Okay. So you must be pretty good. No, believe me, your coaches, they come over to practice all the time. And one of the guys on our staff, Chin Coleman, actually went to school with one of them. So we know how good the track and field is at Arkansas. So congratulations. You going to follow her in a couple of years? We'll see. You like getting recruited or something? You like getting recruited? Okay, all right. Congratulations to you guys. All right, coach. All right, keep on that journey. You brought him up in there. Nothing like building, right? Feels good to take something and really being able to see the fruits of your labor as you go. It's also good to have good friends who have good kids, right? So you got a friend who got a talented kid that'll help you out a little bit, you know what I mean? Okay, ask Cal about that. Cal know about that. Cal had he got a lot of his old players' kids on our team. So we know about that ourselves. But congratulations to you guys and good luck this weekend. Okay, so, yeah, we're looking forward to the season. Like we talked about, we had the prime time at the Palace the other day. We're totally excited about what happened. We were nervous. A lot of people told us, you can't do that it's not going to be a good event. No one's going to show up. Cal actually went to the sororities and the fraternities throughout the week to sort of promote it to get people to come. And it was great. We thought it was great. Now, Cal did something he wasn't supposed to do. He told everybody to come on the court afterwards and take pictures and take autographs with the guys, and the people at the school almost lost their minds. But it was an unbelievable event. Like you said, we hope to build on it from this point on. But a lot of enthusiasm. I think the people are excited. And a lot of the people actually who got the chance to come on the floor, the people that I know and the people I've seen since that day, they thought that was great because you get a chance to sort of talk to the players and talk to the women's players and the men's players, take pictures with them, autographs. So it became a little bit more personal, just having them out there and just announcing them and out there, like you said, we did a fake scrimmage. So it was a little bit more personal for the people who actually did that. So we appreciated all the support, and we're looking forward to getting this thing started. Talk about the team a little bit. We're excited about it. One of the things in college basketball, Brad, we go back. I was on the staff when we beat Arkansas at UMass back in, was that 95? 95. So we were both young back then. So we're a little older right now. But I was on the staff, so I go back a little bit with Cal as his assistant. And, we feel as though back then you always knew who was coming back the following years. Now college sports has totally changed, so you don't know who you're going to have. You can have a whole new team every single year. But this year we felt good about our team because we have 4 guys that returned who played big parts in our season last year and how we finished. And so we felt a lot better with DJ coming back, with Billy coming back, with Carter coming back, and with TB, Trevin Brazil, with those guys coming back. We felt as we have a foundation, which a lot of times now in college basketball, you can only do it. Now, I will say this. Cal is the king of having new teams because all these teams at Kentucky, everybody left after 1 year. So Cal is actually pretty good at having a different team every year. But the way college basketball is now, we felt so good about the guys being able to come back, and our practices show it. We've had some great practices, and the younger guys are really good. DJ Wagner, and I've been doing this this is my 39th year in college basketball. And DJ Wagner is probably one of the top 2 or 3 kids I've ever been around in my life in terms of a person. And he takes the young guys. Alex Dillard came, he got in the Hall of Fame, and he came and spoke to the team. And Corey Beck, who's around the team, he comes to practice a lot. And he talked about leadership. He talked about how, although Corliss and Scotty were their best players, he said he thought that Corey Beck was their leader. He was the guy that run every race. He was the guy that galvanized everybody when things going on. And DJ Wagner is that for us, by far. It's not even close. And he's one of the great kids you ever be around. That's why everybody cheers for him. A lot of little kids I ask, who's your favorite player? They all talk about is DJ Wagner. And they just watching him from afar. if you were to be in the same building with him, be around him all the time, you would say the same thing. He's one of the great kids of all time. But with DJ there and Billy and Carter and TB, I think we got a great nucleus. I think we got a good chance of doing some special things with that. Like I said, bringing back our freshmen, Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas, have been really good in practice. They're going to learn some stuff. I think you guys will really enjoy Darius Acuff. Very talented kid, and have an opportunity to do some special things this year. And even our guys that we brought in as transfers. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't necessarily a Nick Pringle fan when Cal was like, I think we're going to bring Nick Pringle in. I need you to watch him on film. I said, why are we going to watch him on film? We done played against the guy for 3 years. He averages 3 points a game, right? So, but I was like, why are we bringing him in here, right? Plus, too, you got to pay him money now. So I was like, we're paying him, right? So I was like, But I will say I've been very impressed with him, with his work ethic and how he plays. And if he plays his role the way he's supposed to, it'll be good. And I think you guys have really enjoyed Malik Ewing from Florida State, 6'11", very skilled player. One thing we talked a little bit, I talked to a group before, we talked about what's going to be the difference in the team from last year. I don't know if I'm taking all your questions. You ask me those questions? Okay. But I think our bigs are way more skilled than they were last year. So when Cal likes to play through his bigs a little bit, how we run offense and things like that, I think will be much different than they were a year ago. Last year we sort of changed everything as the season went on because we felt as though we weren't getting from them what we needed to. So we changed a lot of things. We did set up a lot more screens, did those things like that. This group will be a little bit more open playing because I think we got that skill level with the groups and being able to do those types of things. So we're looking forward to it. I hope you are too. I know a lot of things been happening in football, so everybody says we can't wait till basketball season, but football season isn't over yet. All right, so make sure you guys keep cheering on the Razorbacks, and I know they got a tough game this weekend. But like I said, we're looking forward to it. We have Cincinnati for the scrimmage on the 26th, I think it is. So that'll be our first time going against somebody. When you're a coach and you've been in it as long as I have, you don't really get excited until you start playing in the games because I've seen a lot of good practice teams and bad game teams over my years. So you want to get to play against somebody else and really get a feel for where you are and what you need to do. So are you coming up? Is Evan? Do I need to talk a little more? No. I'm good?
We can talk over here.
You sure?
I have plenty of questions.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Last year you had Cal here. I know it's a little bit of bruises here this year. Who's this guy? But I'll see how good I can do. I'll see if I can do anything.
I guess we're both self-deprecating today.
I guess so, right?
Importance. Bruiser, first of all, just want to ask you, what makes your partnership with Coach Cal click? Because y'all have gone way back. People don't stick with the same boss, work for the same person unless it's working. What's kind of made that work?
Brad will appreciate this. I tell everybody, say, what's your thing with Cal? I got him started. Yeah. His first groups, I recruited him. So I recruited his first groups, but I was going from him for a long time. I was a head coach for 20 years. But Cal has always kept the guys who sort of work for him. You get fired, he bring you back, all those things like that. So Chuck Martin, who's actually on my staff, he worked for me at Drexel and UMass, and then when Cal needed an assistant, I said, I got somebody for you. So Chuck Martin worked for him. He became a head coach. We all got fired. We all came back to Cal. So so that's we got Kenny Payne, same thing. And so that's what it. But even when I was a head coach for a long time, I talked to him almost every day. So our relationship goes back. I laugh. Because I knew his daughters when they were born. Brad wasn't even born when I worked for him. So we go back. Our relationship goes a little bit further than just the basketball. But when everybody says, man, why are you so close to Cal? I said, you know what? When you get a guy good players, then he like you. So that's my thing with him. And we've been doing this together for a long time. And he's been a good mentor to me, so also too.
Yeah, I think whenever people hear the role special assistant to the head coach, they always are like, what really is that? How would you describe what your actual day-to-day is like?
A little bit. I'm the team and coach's psychiatrist. A little bit. I make sure everybody doesn't lose their mind. But I don't do as much recruiting, so I don't recruit anymore. But I do a lot of stuff within the office. Make sure the guys get where they're supposed to be. And then the basketball stuff. I talk to Cal a lot about what do you think about practice, what we got coming up with some of the things. Just being a different set of eyes for him. I've been with him so long that I'm not afraid to say, yo, that's not right, where sometimes guys are when you're having a coach like that. So I've been with him for a long time, and I'd be like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. And if he goes crazy, he goes crazy. I've been through it with him before. But I do a lot of the stuff like that. Like we said, like they put in there a lot of game type of stuff. I sit down with a lot of coaches. Those guys I've been around for a long time. I guess they respect me. They sit down, they talk to me about what do I think, what I've been going through, what I've gone through as a coach, and what am I seeing. And so we just try to get it going. I'm there for everybody. But I do a lot of stuff with the players also, too. Make sure they get where they're supposed to be. A lot of the academic stuff, too. I handle that a little bit. And then the players also, too, they come to me when they think Cal's losing their mind. And they ask me, what's up with your boy? You know what I mean? So that's a big job for me, too.
How is the culture and just energy here in Fayetteville different from different programs you've been at?
Like I said, I haven't been at many because I was a head coach for a long time. One of the things, we knew this was a great place to play because when we were at Kentucky, we came here to play. So we thought next to Rupp, this was the best building in the conference. We thought, because we came here for some games. I'm like, whoa, it's crazy in here. It's a little crazy in here. So, so we knew the atmosphere and everything like that could really get it going in there, get it going in the building. So when Cal told me he was taking the job, I was like, yo, not a bad job. They've won national championships and got great supporting fans. They're not crazy. You know what I mean? Everybody has crazy fans, but I will say it's not crazy in the place we just left. But we think the people here are very supportive. What we did on Friday was put together in a short time. It wasn't like we had planned this from the summer. This was like 2 weeks in planning, and look what we got to come into the building to support us. So we appreciate it. We think that, like we said, it's one of the toughest buildings to play in the league, and we appreciate that from the fans. We think that the culture here, they want to have a winner. They've had good teams in the past. They think Cal's the one to get them back over the top and put up another banner. And they've been very supportive of us. We appreciate that.
I know John Calipari is one of those people that, fans, media, everybody sees his image and he's got that kind of aura about him. I'm just curious, what is he like when the cameras, is he the same guy when the cameras aren't on?
Pretty much. No, not really, but one thing about Cal, very loyal. That's why we all come back and we work for him when, everybody gets fired. So very loyal to his assistants, very loyal to the people that work for him and work around him. Really believes in family. That's one of the things about him. Of course, you see him, he's unbelievably engaging to everybody. He'll do whatever, one of the things Hunter has seen and he's taken advantage of, Cal will do anything for him. To really, not just for the basketball program, just for Arkansas in general. Cal will go, he'll speak, he'll raise money, he'll do all those things like that. And I think that's one of the things that make him a little special. It makes everybody feel as though they are a part of it. And I think he does an unbelievable job with that.
Obviously, people are really excited about the talent that the staff has been able to bring in to Arkansas on the team. You were part of the staff that helped develop Marcus Camby, who went on to win National Player of the Year. Just what stands out to you about coaching elite talent like that once they are in your hands and y'all are, the ones developing them?
Make you a good coach. So, real good coach. You got real good talent, you're usually a real good coach. And a lot of us got fired because we didn't have that talent for a little bit, and you get fired when you don't have that type of. But, he's always had a great eye. Cal's always been a great recruiter. Like I said, I was with him at the beginning, and I was sitting in the homes with him, so I listened to him talk. I give you a little insight. So we would go into a home. He would say, now, Cal's a little cocky, so he would say to me, ether or no ether. So we meant ether, it means put him under. and really get them going, or no ether. Let's just keep it really general. So when we used to go into somebody's house, we doing the ether one tonight, or we're doing the no ether? I said, we might need ether tonight. So then when he gets going, and I used to always say to him, to the guys, y'all know you guys are a little young, but remember those dolls used to pull the string and they start talking? Right? That's how I used to tell people Cal was. I said, you just sit him down, you pull that string, and he just start talking. So so that's what I used to say about him all the time. But he's unbelievable in the home. As you all know, he's great with people, and he's able to do it. He never makes more promises that he can't keep. And like I said, I've been around him since 1988, 89. And that's the one thing I will say that has stayed constant, even when I came back with him, which was more than 23 years later. So he's never going to promise you anything that he can't keep. He's very genuine how he talks about how you're going to play for him. He doesn't make any promises in terms of his playing time. So when you come in, you know it. One of the things that being in a home with him that you learn and you become a head coach yourself is that you don't want to lie to kids because they'll take you up on it. And then the trust factor goes away. Now, Cal's changed a lot of ways in terms of how he used to coach because he was really hard when we were young. So in order for you to be hard on a kid, he got to understand that it's not personal, and the things that he's saying to you it's not, when I didn't promise you this, and then you get there, you don't get it. So you can be a little tougher than now. It's a little bit different nowadays, the way you got to coach. I'm sure you know that, Coach, you know what I mean? So it's a little different how you got to coach, but as long as you don't make any promises, long as it is what it is, but you know what you're getting into, that makes it easier from the coach, and I think he's done a very good job at that.
What kind of makes this new chapter for him, do you think, feel so exciting and, rejuvenated is what the kind of vibe we got from him from his first year at least?
No, I mean, me, myself, personally, I want him. He's had one of the greatest careers in the history of college basketball. When I was at Kentucky, when I came back with him at Kentucky, I was astonished how it was going, especially since I had my own jobs for a long time. And I was like, man, this not good. And I used to say it to him. I used to be like, yo, man, it's not what I expected, to the point where I would tell people at Kentucky, I don't have to work here. You know what I mean? That's how bad it was. I just want to see him go out the right way. And I think this is a perfect job for him. I think you come here, you got a chance to win. The people here are way more supportive. I wasn't at Kentucky the first 11, but that last 4 we were there, it was not good. I'm not going to lie. And, we still won games, but it just was not good. So when we came here, and one of the things about last year was when we went 0-5 in conference play, and we still got to sell out crowds at the place. We were like, man, now we still would have probably got sellout crowds at Rupp, but they'd have been booing you. You know what I mean? So we got that part of it. And no one was in here like killing us, which gave us a chance to get back in and made it a little bit more special. But for him, I think this is the perfect place for him to sort of ride into the sunset. Guys had one of the most, I have to tell him he has to remember that sometimes. Yo, man, you've had one of the greatest careers in the history of this game. Like, smell the flowers once in a while, do your thing. But I think this is a great place for him to sort of be able to do that.
Having been a head coach yourself for 20 years, how do you think that being back in a supporting role for a head coach, that you can rely on your own personal experiences to kind of help guide you?
I've worked for two. I worked for Archie Miller for a couple years at Indiana, then I went back with Cal. It was hard at first, I'm not going to lie. I always tell people, they say, what's the difference? I said, every Sunday at 1 o'clock when I was a head coach, I watched the Eagles. And everybody know, don't bother me. From 1 to 4, I'm going to be watching Philadelphia Eagles. When you become an assistant coach, you got to practice at 1 o'clock. So you got to do, you're not watching the Eagles, so you don't have your own time. But I would say both Cal and Archie have been good to me in terms of, I think they respect what I bring to the table. And they give me an opportunity to say things that might not necessarily be able to say to some people. But, you get used to it. Been at great places. Again, this is a good place. I was a mid-major coach, so I wasn't flying on jets and doing all those things like that. You were on the bus, you know what I mean? You busing 4 hours, getting back 4 hours, 3 o'clock in the morning, getting back up 7 o'clock doing that. This stuff not a bad gig if you're an assistant, you know what I mean? The way you travel and the things you go around doing like that. So But you know, it's been good. It's been good for me. You know what I mean? I'm still in the basketball, and the kids give you energy. John Chaney, longtime coach. I don't know if you guys remember him, Hall of Fame coach from Philly. So me and him used to go to lunch once in a while, and when I was in Philadelphia, and so I used to always say to him, "Man, I ain't gonna be doing this when I'm 70 years old." And he was in his 70s at the time. He said two things. He goes, one, y'all make way more money now than when I got started. That was one of the things he said. But he said, I'm gonna tell you what you'll miss. He said, you'll miss the energy from the kids. So one year when I was at Drexel for 15 years, I got fired. And so my agent said, take off for a year. And, you know, you're still getting paid and all that stuff like that. So I did. And that's what I missed. I missed the energy from the kids. They keep you young and they keep you going. And that's one of the big things about this job. And that's one reason why you see a lot of guys keep coaching, because that energy is a little bit different than most.
You mentioned the travel, how that was different, being at, you know, a smaller program. But now having, you know, you've been at large programs and small programs, what's kind of like the biggest constant that any successful team, no matter the level or conference, kind of has to have?
I mean, got good players. I mean, when it's all said and done, you know, it's all about the players. You can be the greatest coach in the world. I think people are starting to find out that I've been reading all today about Bill Belichick, right? He's probably arguably one of the great football coaches of all time. You know why not winning in North Carolina? He ain't got good players. So, you know, you could teach and, you know, if they're not good enough, there's nothing you can do. You know what I mean? People are going to be serious. So recruiting is the heart of the whole thing. So you got to be able to get good players. You know, the support from the people. Like I said, I was fired. I was fired at UMass, and I'm not afraid to say this because I'm old enough to say it, but my boss, I hated him. I did. I didn't talk to him for the last year and a half that I worked with the guy, okay? So that support is good. Now I go to Drexel. I'm there for 15 years. Now when I got fired, it was time. You know what I mean? I had been there a long time, but my boss, I still talk to him. So it goes to show you in terms of your support and all those things like that. So I still tease them. I was like, you fired me because you didn't want to pay me no more. But we had a relationship that's going to go on for a long time. And I think that's also one of the biggest things, too. And that's what happened to Cal at Kentucky. Just didn't get supported anymore. And you would say all the stuff that goes on at Kentucky, you would never think that. But that was one of the issues. And that's why he's at Arkansas now.
How have you, since I guess the admin supported Arkansas, what does that look like for Cal? Does he feel like he have more just kind of reign to do how he wants to do things?
Yeah, I mean, we want to be able to sit down and, you know, it's a lot of different things going on in terms of the rules and the money and all those things like that. You want to have somebody in your corner is a lot more difficult than the job used to be. I think that's what Hunter's done a good job for. He can sit down and they can have a conversation about what's good for the program. I'm sure Hunter, I've never really been in those meetings, but I'm sure Hunter probably tells them, you know, as a head coach, you want your boss to say, okay, we can or we can't. And if your boss keeps telling you we can't, then you know you're not gonna be there long. But if you guys can get to a mutual agreement about what can be done, how can I help you, all those things like that, then you'll have some success.
So far from practices, I mean, we're getting so close to season. Just what kind of identity have you sensed that this year's Arkansas team will have?
Well, I talked about it a little bit before, but I think we're a little bit more skilled than we were last year, shooting-wise. One thing I enjoyed about our team last year, I don't know if Coach can attest to this, and just how you build, we had some toughness. We were a little ugly playing last year. We'll admit that. We were ugly, but we had some toughness. And that's one reason why we were able to pull ourselves out of the hole that we were able to do. That's one thing about playing against other teams now coming up, how tough we're going to be. Skill level, the team from this year to last year, not even close. You know what I mean? Like I said, our bigs are way skilled. Our guards are better skill-wise. Will we have that toughness? That really makes you win. Because last year we had that toughness, and we just grinded it till the end, until the Sweet 16. But I think our skill level is very high this year, and that gives you a chance to win.
How has Coach Calipari's kind of style of play adapted to this specific group of how he wants them to play?
Well, I mean, this is the type of team he's used to having. You know what I mean? Highly skilled players, really good guards, couple big guys that could do some things for you. His teams in the past have always been that way. I even go back to one of the things I tell people about Cal, especially when we get in recruiting and we start talking about recruiting a little bit. I go back from the beginning, Marcus Camby, Donta Bright, Dana Dingle. One thing he does an unbelievable job is he puts it together. Even back then, we had a couple guys, people like, why are you recruiting him? Well, Cal can put it together for you to everybody to know their roles and even if guys are similar. You know what I mean? They can't play with him. He can't do that. Cal does an unbelievable job with that type of stuff. And I think that's one of the things by having a highly skilled team that he'll be able to put it together for us to be where we want to be.
We'll close on a couple more personal ones. When you look back on your career at this point, what's one game or moment that you kind of gives you chills to think about?
I don't think one. As an assistant, I went to Final Four. We went to Final Four at UMass. I've beaten some pretty good coaches. Beat Pitino, and I was the first team to win. When I was at Drexel, we got the first win at the Yum Center with Louisville and Pitino. And it's funny because when I was at UMass, Rick Pitino played at UMass. And when I was there, he was the coach of the Celtics. So I used to go watch his practice. He was great to me. I used to go watch his practices and stuff like that. So when I called him about the game, I said, you know, if you guys didn't know anything about college athletics, we have what we call guarantee games, what they call them. So you pay the school because they're guaranteed to lose. Okay? So it's just the truth, you know, right? That's what they call guarantees. So I call them up and I say, I need 100,000, you know what I mean, come and play. So he was like, okay, Bruce, all right, we got you. He says, we opened up a new arena. It'll probably be the second or third game in, but it'll pay me. So we beat him. So as he's walking up to me, he goes, I want my money back. So, but, those types of things like that. We went to the NCAA tournament a couple times when I was at UMass as the head coach. So it's a lot of great things. One reason why I think I'm still standing on that, I think this is a place where we can go to Final Four again. I'm going to make one more run.
Last one. You've worked with a lot of young coaches. Just kind of what advice would you give to those that are trying to break into the coaching space today that, maybe wouldn't have been advice however many years ago?
I think it's all the same. I think one thing is, because I actually have a lot of guys that played for me that are coaches. Now I have Bashir Mason, who played for me at Drexel. He's the head coach at St. Peter's. Dwayne Killings, who played for me at UMass. He's the head coach at Albany. Ash Howard, who's now an assistant, he was the head coach at LaSalle. So I have a lot of my former players. I always used to tease them. I said, y'all probably looked at it and said, if Brew can do it, I know I can do this, right? But one time, the biggest adjustment is that they don't realize the time, how much time it is. You're working 7 days a week, weekends, everything. So you got to be really ready to spend the time if you want to be good at it. And that's not even talk about the time for yourself, learning your craft in terms of, X's and O's and, getting times and recruiting and things like that. This is a job that takes a lot of time. Everybody thinks you just show up for the games, but that's one of the things. I've had a couple guys who played for me, they end up working for me. And they were like, yo, Tyler Euler said this to us. When he started working with us at Kentucky, he was like, man, I didn't think it was like this. I just thought y'all guys showed up for practice, and all of a sudden we went to the games and you just played. So time is a big thing. You got to love young people.
Well, appreciate you taking your time today, Bruiser.
No
This
problem.
has been great. Give him a round of applause, everybody.